right, let me move in and do this bathroom. Now this, I want to be clear. Right now, I've got to call this place a workshop, and it's barely that. It's a steel frame building. The vision is a home, so it's a steel frame building, but you're going to see me put in a field toilet here because I don't have a well. I don't have my big solar set up, so I can't run a well, and I don't have septic yet, and I have to have septic to have a house. So, and of those three, the septic's the only thing where I have to have a OSP, an inspector come in and check the field for drainage and all that good stuff. So I'm going to stay with this C toilet for a little while. But here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead. This will be the restroom for the main house, right? And so the septic guys are going to need 3 different places to test, typically speaking. And I need to be 100 feet away from the well. So if that's going to be my restroom, then I have all about here, right? So more than 3. In addition, I could come out here this way, and so there's, you know, a couple that way, a couple this way, and then if a push came to shove, and let's say I hit a gravel bed over there that was super good, of course I could come out here underneath the building and go shoot that way. But I could also, from the main hall, I'm planning to have a Michigan basement under here, so the piping will be able to run through the main floor and into the kitchen, the galley kitchen, and out that way. So more than 3 opportunities for the septic guys to figure out where they want to put in a septic, and then the well will need to be 100 feet away. Well, this is downhill. This is the end part of where the where the property is. I want the well to be up there, and it's got to be 100 feet away from any septic, right? And that would include inside the house. So 100 feet away. So when I do the well, I'm going to look for well spots up in there, all up in there, 100 feet away, plus some, right? In case I end up, I just want to be careful. So 100 feet away plus some that way. The septic will go this way. But I'll definitely feel around first for the well. Let's say I found a little artesian spot and it was here. Well, then I would have to change my septic to a different direction. There's not a big drop between that end and this end, only a couple of inches, and you could make that up just by digging. So anyway, that little spot where I'm working at, that is to get rid of 2 last remaining pieces of sheetrock so I can get my trailer, because this weekend I need my trailer for I'm moving a sawmill. And I've needed a sawmill for a while, and I ran into a really good deal for a while, so I need to get this done. All right. Because of the heat, I've been building, task by task or room by room. So normally, I would have done all the electric, I would have done all the drywall, I would have done all the insulation, but the heat is just so far beyond my capability. And even now I'm breathing hard because the dust is so hard for me to respirate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm moving in here. So I have a little bit of electric to finish up right here. I've got power coming in. And if it ends up that there's a water toilet here, I'll just cover that with a plate. And up here will be a light switch and an outlet. And that'll go to a chandelier that'll hang down in the restroom. This will be the tub area. So, and there's all my shims that I need. So I need to shim everything out. So those rafter braces there, I actually need to screw in. And none of them are screwed in, so I need to screw those in and get them straight. Some of them aren't straight. I need to insulate, and on this side I need to cut, because you can see right there that the rafter here comes down about 1.5 inches. So I'll end up running a board there and there and there on that. So that's a good little microcosm of a little bit of everything, and we'll see how far I'll get. So first, let me go ahead and get the electric done in that little spot so I know I can have a restroom light. So where the electric goes up, there'll be I'll end up having a shelf up here that I'll use for toilet paper, things like that. And also I'll have some hooks so I can hang the field toilet while I'm changing it out. And then there'll be a light switch up here that'll have I'll have a outlet that has a nightlight part to it where it'll always be on solar. And then there'll be a 2-panel box here, one for the light switch itself, and probably I need to make sure people can reach it and turn it on. So maybe right about there. An outlet here, the chain will go up and over, and then the light will hang down right here. So people can walk in and go click and turn that on. It's a little weird, but this will be open air. Again, everything will be as open as possible in order to make it feel as large as possible. So a little weird on the electric there, but it's my only weird electric. Everything else, there's a wall outlet every less than 48 inches, and I followed code as best as possible. So, but that'll be a little weird thing. All right, let's get this little pocket all finished up. So I need the drywall framing, I need the shelf, and I need the outlet. So let's go ahead and get one of the pieces of drywall framing in. Just out of curiosity, let's see how hot this is. Fahrenheit, what? Celsius, 41 Celsius. Where's the conversion? 109. Oh my God, 106, 109. This is way too hot for me to be working in. Way too hot. I read an article the other day that said scientists figured out what is the maximum amount of temperature and humidity that you can live in. And it was 95 Fahrenheit at 100% humidity for 6 hours. And I'm like, that just doesn't feel right. People have been working in that kind of situation for a very, very long time. But maybe they've always been able to rest or dig a hole or something. But anyway, that's what this said. That's terminal right there. And I just read that the other day out of curiosity because this is so difficult on me in here. And I've been complaining so much, but there is a reality to my complaint. You know, this is dangerous work at this point, right? So making sure I don't get carried away and get myself killed is exactly what I need to do. Since it's a bathroom, I'm using stainless steel screws in here. Again, I'm shooting for a 1,000-year home, and stainless steel will be around way more than 1,000. After everything falls down, you'll be able to find stainless steel still sitting around doing its thing. Stainless steeling. When I ripped all of those treated, they were all wet, and I knew that if I didn't get them right away, they would do exactly what they did. They're all wiggled, but since I'm just using them as big furring strips for the drywall, I'm pulling them tight, getting it done. This is a good little spot in microcosm to see everything. So, and since it's so hot, I'm in no hurry. I'm just going along, hydrating. I'd like to stay alive. I'll build the shelf to match where the conduit ends up falling. I measured about 40 inches, so eyeballing it in, you know, about 40. I put my finger on it and did a little cogitating. Again, I'll just build a shelf to match it. So 90-degree bend. All right. Now, this outlet box, you know, it's got the screws for me to go ahead and attach it. So I will. And then I sometimes even anchor it to the back wall if it's too floppy. We'll find out. But this might be good enough. And I pull it out for 5/8 inch. So see, now it doesn't fit. Now it'll miss. So, but that's what I do. And if I end up, it ends up too shallow for whatever reason because of the bend of the pipe. I don't know what they're really called. I imagine they're called extenders or spacers, power, but derogatorily, the professional guys call them mistake cover-uppers or something like that. I forget what they call them. And some of these boxes, you have to be careful that you don't knock out the big ring if you're using 1/2 inch like I am, because the big ring's for another size. So careful when you bust out those tabs. I try not to use the middle one unless it's from the top or bottom, because the outlets, the screws for the outlet will be right in this area. So I try to use the corners where I can. That's just what I do. I don't know if it's best practice, but it's what I do. I didn't have to make the bends at the bottoms because I bought these, and I've had to actually drill out a piece of drywall here or there to, you know, to make it fit, but not much. It's mostly just been perfect. So, these are called EMT to box offsets, and so. Sometimes I bend them, sometimes I just use this. The whole purpose of this, for me, is to be out of the harm's way of the drywall. You saw I just measure in place and mark in place. I don't pull a tape very often. My father always told me there's a right way to wind this. And I don't remember which way it is. I guess you oughta. I don't remember. I'd be guessing. And because I'm doing a 1,000-year house and it's mine and I'm in no hurry, I always get a little stone. I run a stone in it. It doesn't take that long, in my opinion. Something you could do for yourself, but I bet you won't see a contractor doing that. I'm pretty sure you won't see a contractor doing that. Listen, if I was a professional, I'd put a level on that and level it. I'm not going to. It is a little crooked. I'm going to live with it. I always put the lock rings on right away and tighten them right away. And then when I pull the lines, I'll do it again. Then I'll have a outlet. I'll turn on here. It'll turn on the top, or maybe it'll turn them on both, but probably just the top. And the top will have a chain that'll go there, and then it'll hang down a little chandelier, Spanish Mission style chandelier in here. That feels pretty good. I'm not going to put a screw through the outside. The less screws I have, the less possibility of water penetration and rust. So let me anchor this, and definitely I'll have to make a spacer, a box spacer. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm ready to finish the furring strips all the way around, and feeling pretty good about that. I really shouldn't have left these out. I have to dry like this. I mean, it's a shepherd's crook. That's my fault entirely, and I knew it when I did it. Just the heat gets up on you, and then you make mistakes. You know, when I cut those, they were wet, and I laid them up against the wall. I said, "Oh, those will get bowed. I'll get them though. I'll get them tomorrow. I'll get them tomorrow." And then a month later, they're sprung. Alright, so I have a 2x6 here, and the reason why I want it so wide is because I want a surface area to hang hooks on, as well as something to mount a shelf to when I build the shelf here on the wall. So, yep. Alright, well, I did pull a tape measure that time because of the sprung board here. Let me rotate you around where you can see what I have to accommodate. And indeed, when I ripped these originally, they weren't sprung, right? They weren't sprung. But I'm going to get the shelf the right size so that I can pound it in and push that in where it's up against the wall there and there. And that one was, according to my measurements, 21 5/8 will do it. All right. Pretty good mathing on my part. Live with that. All right, I'm gonna need one of my mini breaks. I gotta sit in some air for a little bit. That was about a half hour or so. I got the framing into this pocket. I got the additional light socket in. And all I need is the top piece, and then I could put in the insulation, and I can move on to the next one. I'll probably wait for the insulation until I get all these framed. That insulation blows around a little bit, so I'll probably frame all these in, and then I could cut and put in drywall. I don't know if I'm going to get to it tonight. It's after, my normal 9 to 5 job. I don't know. It's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and it's, as you saw it was still between 106 and 109. I am just dying here. All right, break time for me. Bye.